It's time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to grow and scale your business from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, we've returned for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam session. And now, here are your hosts.
And listen to that crowd out there, Paul. They are
fired up.
Please settle down, everyone. Settle down. They are, oh my goodness, fired up. But please. Oh, man, what a rowdy group today. Hola, que pasa, Dorn? What's up, everybody? Tom Gaddis here with Paul Michael, my co-host today. I am excited to be back on the Friday Marketing Aloha Jam session. I took a couple Fridays off. My mom was in town for the Thanksgiving Day holidays, so I wanted to spend a lot of time with her. And then 2 weeks ago, well, yeah, not last Friday, but the Friday before, I got the flu. So I got to enjoy that. And even though the flu has gone away, I've had this lingering cough. So I'm going to do my best not to cough while we're on mic, but it's really, really annoying. It hasn't gone away. What's up, Johnny Boyd? Oh, yeah, it does sound like the Texas crowd or the Oklahoma crowd after we stomped Alabama. That was the signature win of our year, Johnny. You got to celebrate the little things, and getting to go to a bowl game and having Alabama be the team you beat to do that was pretty good. Sorry, Philip. I know you're a big Roll Tide fan. I love Alabama. I think it's going to be a great back and forth. So awesome. John, Christian, what's up? Kim Armstrong. Yeah, Kim, actually, I feel great, but there's just this, when I get going talking or I'm doing any kind of physical exertion, I just get this kind of tight feeling and I have to cough. So I can feel it coming on again. And I was just telling Paul, it's funny because I keep covering my mouth whenever I'm doing that, even though IU beating Notre Dame. Oh, I hope so, Dorn. I hope so. Well, awesome. Well, everybody, this is Paul Michael. He's one of your fellow Sharks. First time on the live show. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
So tell everybody where you're at, because I saw the darkness in the background, and I was like, where are you, Paul?
I am in Fethiye, Turkey.
Fethiye, Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's a little after 11 p.m. there, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we appreciate you staying up late for a late night edition of the Aloha Marketing Jam session and hanging out. And Paul's going to be sharing a lot of great info and a little bit about how he's prospecting, how he's using some of our strategies to generate clients. I don't know if you guys remember in the Facebook group when we did the stealth prospecting challenge, Paul took some of that stuff, landed a client. He's been doing the reach machine. We'll talk a little bit about that. You guys can ask him questions. We'll really dive deep into that. Before we get into all that, though, I think we should do some shark shout outs. So, pardon my cough here. First of all, before we do the shout outs, I do want to give a big accountability check-in and shout out to our agency evolution members, Mark and Jerry. They both have been posting their accountability check-ins, following through. It's been awesome. I've actually been working with Mark a little more one-on-one in the 6-week prospecting intensive that we've been running. And man, I tell you, he has a great delivery and things for his remote prospecting videos. They just sound so natural, and he's targeting people that he's interacting with on a daily basis. Really great stuff to see how you're growing and implementing those things, Mark, and the results you're getting. And I'll talk a little bit more about that because some of the people in that intensive have been getting great results. So awesome stuff. And Jerry, of course, as always, just a stable, consistent, keeping himself accountable, moving forward in the program, doing the daily steps. So awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff.
Good job.
Next up, I want to give a shout out to our 100K Club member accountability check-ins. This has been awesome to see as well. Everybody holding each other feet to the fire inside there. John Hardiman, Dan Lesser, Sandy, James, EG, Mark, Cynthia. Awesome stuff watching the progress you guys are making and the goals you have each week. So critical to stay on that, especially during this time, Paul, when it's like, it's busy, right? Everybody's busy. The business owners you're reaching out to are busy. You're busy. There's all this extra stuff with the holidays. I think during this time, any little bit of consistency that you can keep and any little bit of forward progress you can make is a huge, huge win in the climate of the holidays. How is it over there in Turkey for you? Is it different there? You target businesses in Nebraska, right?
Everything's in Nebraska, yeah, my target. So I'm working with everybody, going through the same concerns, like the holiday buzz. Even though I'm in the holiday buzz, our holidays are a little bit different here, but in Turkey. But yeah, I'm still dealing with the same aspects of it.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to remember. I remember Dorn and Richie talking about this, I think maybe last year or the year before, how, even when you're prospecting right now during the holidays and you're putting things out there and you're not hearing back, don't get frustrated, because a lot of times at the beginning of the year, you'll just all of a sudden hear back from some of these people. They'll be like, oh, look, I finally got a chance to respond. Finally, it's slowed down. I'm getting back to you. So the stuff that you're doing is not wasted. Just keep it up, right? Just keep it up.
I got an email from somebody yesterday that I had talked to the day before Thanksgiving. He's like, I haven't forgot about you, Paul. Things are still really crazy busy. Got to wrap up these signs before the holidays. So you're on my radar. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's great stuff. Great stuff right there. All right. I also want to, hold on. Let me pull this up, because I don't think we have these in the actual shout outs. So I want to pull a couple things up here. Let me see here. Not this one. We're going to do this one. Okay. So let me grab this. Let me just share my screen here real quick. I'm going to share it over on the, I'm going to share entire screen here. I want this one. Okay, so I just wanted to, these are just a couple of shout outs that I wanted to personally make. So I don't know if you guys know this, but a few weeks ago, I put some posts for a 6-week prospecting intensive where people would be working directly with me. We had 3 days of training to kick it off. Then we've been meeting 1 day a week, every week. They've had the ability to message me directly in Facebook Messenger and ask me questions and get help. And it's been awesome to watch the progress that everyone is making inside that group. Charlene, Mark, Dan, Daryl, Rick Upshaw has really been doing some great videos. Who else is in there? Brian Wakefield. I think I hit everybody. But they've been putting in the work, like doing the deal, even though it feels uncomfortable and getting some new things out. And I just wanted to share a few wins that some of them have had. So Dan Lesser, he sent out a video. He had 2 views on his videos and he booked 2 appointments. So super excited about that. The first appointment turned into a $250 one-off SEO optimization sale. So congratulations on that, Dan. The videos have just been getting better and better. I mean, it's just really great to watch what you're doing. If you guys are interested, maybe I'll share some of the videos they have in the group if Dan and some of the people don't mind. I don't know. Would you guys be down to see that, what they're doing, how they're making them better? Cool. If so, I'll put it in there. The next one goes to Daryl. So, and this is, I think, one of the another area that we don't think about a lot, and that is what's some low-hanging fruit around us. So Daryl has some existing clients that he does Amazon SEO for. And, when we were talking in the intensive, I was like, hey man, why don't you make some little videos to those existing clients? Like, take a look at what else they have going on outside of Amazon and say, hey, I noticed you've got this thing that's not on Amazon, but I think I could help you make this better because he's looking to get away from doing Amazon traffic for people. So he sent out just a few videos to some of his existing clients and on their Shopify site. So he signed one. He's just sent me this message like 2 days ago. He signed one for $1,000 a month, and he's got another one that's looking really good for $2,500 a month. So just a simple little video of like, hey, I'm already doing your Amazon SEO. I went over and looked at this other website you have, and I think there's some opportunity here. Would you like for me to help you fix that? So if you have existing clients, whether you have 1, 2, 10, 15, 20, I would be looking at some other areas that your clients are in and see, is there an opportunity there for you to help them with something else? And making those little simple screen share videos to send to them is a great way to get their attention and offer to help them with some additional services or get what, the retainers they're paying you up. Also, too, another little tip I'll give you guys for this, and this is what Mark has been doing so beautifully during the prospecting intensive, is he had some blinds people come to his house to service the blinds in his house. And so afterwards, he just shot a quick video and he was like, hey, David, I just wanted to shoot this video and say thanks for, the awesome work you did at my house today with the blinds. My wife was really impressed. We loved it. Just as a way of saying thank you, I have this community resource website that I've set up, and I'm going to give you a free listing. Like normally, these costs, but like you did such a great job. I just wanted to give you a free listing. All I need to do is get some information from you. Can you just click that little link on this video and just book a real quick call with me next week so I can get the info and I can get this set up for you. Again, it's on me. It's just a way of saying thank you for the great work you did for us. Really, really appreciate it. He's been doing a few videos like that, Paul, and they are awesome. And he's been getting some good traction with that. So a couple of little tips for the rest of you out there that we're seeing some great results with inside the prospecting intensive. All right, let me go back here. Let me look at the comments. Hold on 1 second. Woo, that cough. Dan says, that's cool. Okay, it's an SPL live stream. Okay, excellent, thanks. Yeah, John says, oh, well, I don't know anything about that, John. Daryl's the guy for that. Okay, awesome. Well, let's do some shark shout-outs. So here we go. Pull these up. All right, first up, we've got Lars. He secured a $2,575 prepayment for next year's services and in turn provided a $150 discount. He talked to another client that is ready to follow suit. Year-end strategy for the win. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw this post that Lars made in the Facebook group, but this was an awesome strategy. So we talk about how businesses towards the end of the year are looking to reduce their tax liability. So sometimes they're looking to purchase equipment or spend money on marketing to reduce the taxes they have to pay in. Like they'd rather get something out of it. So Lars emailed his clients and was like, hey, the end of the year's coming. If you're looking to reduce your tax bill, how about prepaying for some marketing services from me? And he got one client to take it, $2,500. And he's got another one that's getting ready to follow suit. So I thought this was a great end of the year strategy. Again, what an awesome angle to get some extra revenue in before the end of the year. You ever do anything like this, Paul?
I have not, but I was just thinking of a client that I have that I want to do some work for. I'm like, I'm going to use that play in. Like, we can get this in before the end of the year. Like, let's get it on this year's budget before we start looking in 2025. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's a great.
Wheels are turning.
Yeah, it's a great angle for them, right? It's a win for them, and it helps you as well.
For sure.
Jordan says Amazon's a total nightmare. Avoid it like the plug. I know Daryl's anxious to get away from it. But okay, so next up, is that it? We just have one win from Lars this week's Shark win, though. So it's a total of $2,575 for the week of December 7th through 13th. Add a couple from Daryl that we can add in there. So $1,000, so $35 plus another $250. So around $4,000 in wins That is a grand total of, what is this? 1,063,696 since the start of 2024. So that is awesome stuff. Over $1 million that you guys have closed in business. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Congratulations, everybody.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. And Cameron, we want to make sure to add those totals in for the little wins I shared from the prospecting intensive. Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay. So, Paul, let's dive in. So first, you're in Turkey, but you're targeting businesses in Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
Do you work with a specific niche, or are you targeting different types of businesses?
Home service contractors, mostly plumbers right now, it seems like.
So home services contractors, mostly plumbers. How long have you been doing that?
About 2 years-ish.
2 years? Who was the first client you signed up? How did that come about? Like, what did you do before this? Do you currently, do you work a regular job and you do this on the side? Is this what you do full time?
No, this is it. Let's see what I do before this. I've sold all kinds of stuff. Before, I guess immediately before this, I was mostly taking care of my daughter. I have 2 daughters, and one of them had trisomy 18, and she had like a trach and was we had nurses that were living in our houses almost, and sometimes we weren't able to get nurses. So that was what I was doing for 3 years prior to this. I was a stay-at-home dad within that scenario, stay-at-home dad / nurse. So and I was trying to do the business on the side at that time, but my other obligations took precedence.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, how is your daughter?
She passed almost 2 years ago now, and that was the part of what brought us to Turkey.
I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
really, when she passed, it was like,
yeah. I mean, that's tough, right? That's tough, but super inspirational that you were able to spend that time with her that you did, and then now that you're able to do something that allows you to work from the home and have that kind of freedom that you want, right?
That's why I designed this, was to be able to move around. My wife is from Turkey. I'm not from Turkey. I'm from Wisconsin originally. We met in Ecuador, and before then I was teaching English in Taiwan. So been around the block.
Yeah. And so how did the first client come about? Let's talk about that.
The first real client, like a home service client, came about. I was cold emailing. I was grinding it, cold emailing and calling hours and hours and hours and hours. And I picked up a painter in Philadelphia, and had them on contract for like 3 or 4 months, and then they slipped away. But that was my first home service contract.
And then, so how many clients do you have right now?
4.
And what does your prospecting look like today compared to then? Like, what are your primary prospecting methods that you're using now?
Now I'm using reach and the methods that you talked about in I forget the name of it, was stealth prospecting.
Those like doing the pre-built websites as a foot in the door.
Foot in the door, or I'm using either that or reviews as a foot in the door. One of those two are my foot in the door. I'm creating Loom videos and sending those out and following up with calls. And I'm also calling the people that have done reach, or that have signed up for free listings through reach, and offering them other pieces as well. So.
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting. Before we actually went live, we were talking a little bit about what you're doing with reach, and you said, you added 25 leads into the reach machine last week. You sent them through the process. Nobody signed up for a free listing, which I think most people will be like, oh, well, I'll move on to the next list. But you didn't do that. You decided to reach out to those 25 businesses as a follow-up. And you signed how many of them?
I signed up 2 today. I called 10 of them and left a few voicemail, but I signed up 2 for free listing.
Yeah, I mean that's great. Like that's a forward momentum and in the right direction, building that relationship and getting all those things. One other thing, another thing I could mention to you that might help with what you're doing with the pre-built websites is another thing that people in the intensive have been doing, which never really, I hadn't really thought of this. Like usually when we're recording like a screen share video audit for like SEO, we're selling SEO on the back end service. But a few of the students inside the prospecting intensive are using that to sell a pre-built website. And I thought that was really clever because what they do is they start in their screen share video with an image of the search results and the person not showing up. And they're like, hey, I noticed you don't show up for this, right? So I thought I'll take a little look. And then I get over to your website and I see your website kind of compared to your competitors is out of date. Like, look at your site, look at their sites. These are the people that are showing up. Like, I think you could gain some ground on them by redoing this website. And I have some good news. You don't have to spend a lot of money to do that. Like, I actually have an electrician site that's already done. Here it is. Look at, like, this has got all the stuff and it's optimized for SEO. And we can implement this in your business really quickly for, just $500 to $800. And I thought that was a great way to sell the pre-built websites using the video, but SEO is kind of the hook in the beginning. Like, you're not showing up, but the reason is you need a new website. I thought that was really great.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So try that. Jacqueline wants to know, how do you manage the phone side of things since you're not in the US?
I have a couple different US numbers through Go High Level, and I use those for all my outgoing calls.
So you're just running them right through. That's interesting. We were just talking about this the other day about, like, I was just having a conversation with Nick yesterday, and we were actually talking about like when we transitioned the agency to run out of High Level and what did that do for us. And one of the things Nick mentioned was like, well, before I just had people call on my cell phone, and now I had team members that could have numbers and phones, and like we seem like a real business. And so you just run it right out of Go High Level, and that's not it's not expensive.
No, you pay the per month, or excuse me, the one-time fee to get a number.
Yep.
And then there's no per like minute. You can do the same thing with number pools as well. There's no per minute or anything. I thought there was originally, but I've been doing a little research on it actually this week, and my charges are the same. I get the whatever they do, like $25. Whenever your credit gets low, you get charged.
Yeah.
When that's with text messages, emails, phone calls, it's all kind of combined. So it's nominal. I don't think it's a very small business cost.
Yeah. And so look, there's another advantage. We were kind of, we've talked about some of the things on High Level, but that's another big advantage of it is it allows you, even if you're overseas, to be able to call directly into the US and all those things for not crazy prices. And you can even have appointment centers and things like that overseas doing it as well.
Definitely.
So I have to ask, why Nebraska?
For said daughter's health, we moved from Wisconsin to Nebraska. So
you were in Nebraska for a while. So
yeah.
Okay.
For 2.5 years, I was in Nebraska. So I have no ties to Nebraska. I'm a Badger through and through. So
the reason I bring that up is because we get so many questions from people about what area do I target, what niche do I target, and like I'm always like, look, there's no magic area, there's no magic niche. I think it's always best to just start with where you're at, and and if you're in Nebraska, you start there, and then you moved, and you're still targeting there, and it's it still all works out. So
whatever you're familiar with is my opinion. Like I chose painters originally for my niche, and because I had done some painting in the past and had some familiarity with it in home service, the contracting business. So that's where I went with it. And I chose Nebraska for the area because that's where I lived.
yeah.
So I no love from Nebraska, and there's nothing really beautiful about Nebraska by any means other than no, there's nothing.
I had a cousin who lived in Nebraska, and he lived in Lincoln. That's where Nebraska University is, right?
Lincoln, yeah.
And he would always tell me how like that whole town just shuts down for the college football games. Like there's just like nothing goes on because everybody's at the game.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing else to do in Lincoln, anyways.
Nebraska, are they a rival of Wisconsin?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Barry Alvarez, the longtime head coach in AD at Wisconsin, played in Nebraska.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So targeting home services in Nebraska, you had painters. Recently you said you've been doing more with plumbers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anything specific? I mean, is it mainly pre-built website stuff? Anything specific services that you're doing there?
Review management was the first plumber I picked up in. The second one was from a pre-built website that I customized a little extra, and then doing some review management and Google Business Profile posting and optimization for them.
So let's talk a little bit about review management, because this is something that like we've we offer review management at the agency, but it hasn't been one of our main focuses. Typically for us, review management comes in as part of other packages. It's not like an individual thing that we sell. So I'm always interested to hear what people are doing and how they're doing it with. So first of all, what's the review management package that you're doing for this plumber?
It's through Agency Coach Review Lead. It's, how can I describe it?
Is it like a system where they post a review, but it doesn't get posted until you approve it, type thing?
No. It's so it starts out initially. There's the onboarding processes. I go back and take like all of their customers from the prior 6 months and start an email campaign. First, it's actually one text message and then 3 emails. So then it's to get them more reviews.
Gotcha. So you're generating more reviews for the plumber himself. So you're going after people that don't, which, is a really great thing to offer on the back end of the pre-built websites. Because a lot of times if a person doesn't have a website and you're selling them a pre-built website, they probably don't have a lot of reviews either. That's something they want to get up. Yeah, that's great. What are you running that through Go High Level?
No, it's through another software review lead.
Okay. That is something, by the way, just so you guys know, you could probably set something like that up pretty easily in High Level using their email automation and the CRM to send out to the people's lists and all that stuff. But awesome. So the plumbers, what do you charge for that service?
$250 a month.
So that's very affordable, not a big hump to overcome. Yeah.
It's an easy another foot in the door type.
Yeah.
Land and expand. And Dorn, no, I do not reply to them.
That could be a good ongoing service as well. Doing some replies and things to them. I know. What other services are you offering? So pre-built websites, review management, any other services that you're offering right now?
Google Business Profile optimization and part of like it's a local SEO package, I call it. So I include review management and Google Business Profile optimization with posting and constant updates. So we do 2 posts a month for different areas that they're going after, like drain cleaning or water heaters or what have you, whatever they want to push for. And then just continually they feed me pictures. So I'm updating those pictures. Really basic, easy stuff that they could probably do themselves, but of course they don't want to because they got a million other things going on.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great point that you bring up there. Like, it's really easy to think that all the stuff that we think is easy and basic stuff, that there's not a lot of value in it, but there's an extreme amount of value in it, because you're absolutely right. People do not want to do that stuff themselves. They would much rather pay somebody to do it for them because, like you said, they got a million things going on running their plumbing business. Last thing they want to worry about is updating pictures, so that is valuable to them for sure. What do you charge for the SEO package?
$750 for both.
$750. Wow, that's great. That's an awesome package and an awesome deal. And so your main prospecting methods right now are you're running people through Reach. You also are you just doing phone calls for the pre-built websites? Or are you just reaching out directly, or how are you doing that?
No, I'm doing looms and sending those out. So it's kind of combination. You generally I'll start with a video. So I'll send them an email with a loom video in it, and then um, 1, 2, 3 emails later, I might give them a call if I haven't gotten any response. Um, so yeah, obviously the good thing with Loom is you can see if they've watched the video or not. So
Yeah.
you can kind of gauge when I feel it's a good time to call them or not. So if
Yeah,
they're opening them.
Yeah, Loom has made some good improvements to kind of what they're doing there. They also have like an AI thing now that you can add on to Loom that will like take out ums and ahs and pauses and things like that for you. It's interesting to see some of that stuff. But
Yeah, I tried the free trial of it just to check that out, and I didn't like it. It didn't sound natural. I mean, I
yeah,
want to
well,
be because you can kind of hear a gap in there. It's like, mm,
yeah, we had one person in the group do a video and use that, and to me, it sounded like sections had been cut out. Like it seemed very choppy in the beginning.
mhm.
Um, there was something else I was going to ask you on that. So, what are your plans? Like, are you going to continue to target Nebraska? Do you have like what are your kind of like long-term goals with what you're doing and how you're going to expand out and what you're looking to build up in?
I still have a lot of room to grow with my AGM, my reach site. So I even have a pile of leads that I'm still sitting on to run them through the machine. So I'm going to continue that method, and I really just can continue like hitting them up on researching, just Google plumbers or Google flooring contractors or whatever, and look at them and kind of analyze them and go, okay, well, they could really use reviews, or they need Google Business Profile Optimization, or they're just not showing up for basic keywords, whatever. Like, because you can really send them these introduction videos for anything. It doesn't have to be a pre-built website. You mean just and again, you can use your guys' strategy: foot in the door, foot in the door, foot in the door, and then kick it open. So.
Yeah, I mean that's what I love the remote prospecting videos so much because they are so flexible. There's so many things you can do with them, so many ways you can fit them into other stuff you're doing. Like one of the things that I've been working with some people in the intensive on is adding them as like anybody who takes a free listing in their Reach machine, then they shoot a video and send it over to them of just like some people are calling it like an extra thank you video, like an extra bonus video. You took thanks for having a free listing on our site as a little extra thank you. I took a look at your digital presence. I thought another great angle that someone was using was they would email all the people in their Reach machine and just say, hey, our sponsor, which is their agency. So like we have Hawaii Thrive. So we could email all of the contacts that are on Hawaii Thrive and say, hey, our sponsor, Mina Marketing, has agreed to do a free strategy session for anybody that has a listing on our site. Here's a link, click it, sign up now. These are going to go fast. They're not going to last long. I think that's a great angle. One of the people in the intensive booked 3 strategy sessions just with that simple email on the back end. So, there's just so many different ways you can come at these things, right? And
that's a great idea, and I think using the end of the year on that as well, like this is the time people are planning out 2025. Like, let's get ahead of it. Do you want to be behind the ball or in front of it? So,
yeah, exactly. And to me, the power of like I made a post the other day about, pardon me, I made a post the other day about removing yourself from the prospecting, and the reason I wrote that post, and I think that was yesterday, was because like when I was trying to get my agency off the ground, like I used to think there was something wrong with me because like I don't enjoy what I call the grind of prospecting, building the list, doing the initial outreach, trying to schedule the appointment. Like all of that stuff really just like drains my soul. Like I can do it. Like I'll get on it, do it because it's necessary. But like after I'm doing it for a while, and especially if you're not getting any traction, like it's really hard to not let all of that affect you in a negative emotional way. And so I just find it really hard to stay consistent when I'm doing those things. And so one of the kind of like realizations I had early on, sorry, I thought I muted there. One of the realizations I had early on was like, for me, the faster I could remove myself from those tasks that I don't enjoy doing and therefore don't do consistently, the better off my business would be. And so, in the beginning, when I was doing the mailers, and we didn't have a lot of automation or anything like that. So my solution was to find an appointment setter and have the appointment setter doing those outreach things that I didn't want to do. Now, today, we've been able to build out automated systems that replace that. So Reach is a great example of that. Reach is an automated system that you put the leads in, and it does all of that initial outreach and seeing if the person is interested and getting them to raise their hand and eventually getting them to schedule a strategy session with you so you don't have to do it. So, the reason I think Reach is so great is because it takes you out of the prospecting, right? Like, yes, we still have to do a couple things. We still have to build a list and feed it into the machine, and we still have to do some follow-up on the back end. But all of that kind of annoying work that can be so draining on you emotionally, it does itself, And we have when you look at other systems that we have, you'll see that really those systems we're building are to do what I'm talking about, to take us out of the daily grind of the prospecting so that we can focus on the more important part, which is getting on the strategy session, having a good call, turning them into a paying client. And we're not weighted down by all that frustration that comes from the initial prospecting part. So Scott, Reach is a Reach cold email machine is a system we have for cold emailing. And actually, I think, let me see. If you want to check it out here, I'll put a link on the bottom of the screen. If you go to offlinesharks.com/robo, there's a training there where I go through Reach. Pardon me, as I cough there, where I go through and you can check out what it is, what it does, how it works, all that stuff. So, but it's basically a way where you just take a list of cold leads, you add them into our Reach machine, and then they go through a series of automations and workflows and things like that that gets their attention, gets them to say, hey, I'm interested in what you have. And then it makes them an upgrade offer, like a foot in the door paid upgrade offer, and then eventually gets them to book a strategy session with you. So it's kind of like having a robo, I mentioned that I was using an appointment setter to do this before. I was paying that person $15 an hour, but with Reach does all of that same stuff, and they can just do it. The Reach machine does it 24/7, 365. As long as I load a list in, it operates. I don't have to manage a person. So it's really like kind of having a robo rep that is doing this initial outreach for you. And so I mentioned Daryl earlier, who's in the prospecting intensive. He's running his Reach machine and he's getting about 5 to 6 free listing signups every day. And so I want to think about that for a second. Like, if instead of trying to go track people down, make cold calls, do all that stuff, if you could just open up a dashboard and you would see like, oh, here's the people that said they're interested in what I'm offering. And now all you have to do is follow up with those people. Or you open it up and it's like, oh, this person booked a strategy session. Here's what they want to talk about. Like, all I got to do is show up for that. Like, how much easier would the prospecting be, right? Like, this is a way to be able to be consistent with prospecting without having to hire anybody, without having to do anything crazy. You just let the machine kind of do all the work. What has been your experience with Reach, Paul?
I loved it. I initially, the first blast was like 5,000 leads, and it was working for me. It was just chugging. I did see a lot of uptick when I started calling them as well, because these guys and gals get so many emails, just like everybody does, right? Like I get 50 emails a day about crap that are like, we're gonna sell you leads, we're gonna book your calendar, and like, yeah. I just delete those. I don't even look at them anymore. But these contractors that I'm contacting, they get 50, 100 emails a day from other marketers trying to sell them something, and this is just like, do you want this free profile?
Yeah, well, you've got this free profile. Like, it's leading with value.
Yeah.
You're not a
Yes.
marketing agency. You don't sound like any of those other people. Like, yeah, it's just so different from what they're getting. And, one thing you mentioned earlier before we got on the was that you have found, you mentioned that you had this list of 5,000, but now you're doing smaller lists, and you find that is even more effective because you're able to do better follow-up and spend a little more time to get that person and the client, right?
Definitely. There's less people getting through the cracks. Like I'm able to make more contact, because you need what, 10, 12 contact touch points with someone before they actually buy initially. So, just making those little touch points and say, hey, want this free? I think it's already ready for you. Do you want it?
Yeah. Well, and Daz, yes, Reach integrates perfectly with Go High Level because we built it on the high level framework. So we took the high level framework and then we built out all of the necessary stuff to make this thing work and run, and it all operates right from a high level. I mean, it's kind of like, imagine we took a basic high level account and we pretty much turned it into a Ferrari, right? So, I mean, if you were to go out and get a high level account, you would still have to build all this stuff out yourself. You'd have to do it all, get it all set up, but we've already done all that. So you literally we load it right in for you and you're up and off to the races. So yeah. Awesome. What would be your advice to sharks that are out there that maybe they don't have any clients right now, or maybe they've just got a couple? What would you be your advice to them to, based on your experience, to kind of help them move forward and keep going?
Connect with others. Like Jacqueline was saying, one of the messages that, sometimes this is hard and it doesn't necessarily have to be what you're selling or even you. These people are just saying no because they're saying no. And just remembering that there's light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to keep at it, just keep at it. The grind, if you want to call it, keep at it, because I'm not actually quite there yet, but I know that there is a bigger opening. I'm starting to see some light through the tunnel, but just keep at it, because even though, like, as a business owner, we're flying this solo. Like, unless you have partners in this process, but me personally, I don't. And I think a lot of people do this solo. You just got to keep at it and know that you're not alone. And so connecting with the Sharks, the group in here, other members, it really helps.
I mean, I think that's such great advice. We have a lot of really smart people in the group, people that are taking action, that are doing things, that are getting results. And we have people with, a handful of clients, and we have people with a lot of clients. And we have somewhere around 60 clients at our agency. So like, we have a lot of smart people that are doing things that can help answer the questions you want. But I do think being a part of that community and leaning on that, leveraging that to help you move forward is really, really critical. Also, too, the thing you said about just not giving up. Like, man, I just saw this. I saw this quote, and I can't remember the exact quote, but the general idea of the quote was like, being an entrepreneur is basically, you've made the decision to deal with new problems every single day. Because I know, like, I used to always think like, oh, when the business gets to a certain point, we won't have any more problems, like, then it'll just be smooth sailing. But like, there's always something. So if you're out there and you feel like, I just feel like I can't get caught up, like, welcome to entrepreneurship. It feels like that even, and I mean, look, we went from doing, from nothing to doing 100,000 to doing 200,000 to doing 500,000 to doing 600,000 to now the agency is doing close to 2 million a year. The agency, not Offline Sharks, the agency is doing close to 2 million a year. And nowhere along that path have we ever felt like, oh, like this is smooth sailing. Like there has always been things to deal with and stuff to figure out. And there's always little, nuisances. But here's the thing. The lifestyle that it gives us is really, really awesome. Like, yes, yes, are you dealing with problems? Do you deal with problems on the regular? Absolutely. Is it challenging? Absolutely. Do you ever feel like, when you have a problem and you just have to figure it out, like you just have to figure it out, and can that be stressful? Absolutely. But, the reward to that is we have an extreme amount of control of our time. Like I was just thinking this the other day. I mean, like, man, I work hard, but like I get to show up to every kid's sporting event. I get to, hang out with my wife. Like I don't have to go to a job Monday through Friday. Like it's just such a relief. And like you, Paul, you're in Turkey on the beach, right? Like doing your business, looking out your window, looking at the ocean. Like it's just such a different, it's just such a different way to live life, a way that personally I dreamed about, but didn't really think was possible, and everybody around me told me that I was nuts, just get a job. Why are you like, this is crazy. Like, why would you want to be the one responsible? Like it just like, but thankfully I didn't listen to them. I just kept pushing forward. So, yeah.
Keep on keeping on.
Yep. Keep on keeping on. That's right. Well, Paul, listen, this has been awesome. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us and talking, sharing all the things you're doing in your business and your insight. I mean, I love seeing the posts you make in the group, and we'll definitely have you on the live show again and we can talk some more. Taylor said, if you have a roadmap, there's potholes coming. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Daz says being in the Sharks has been a game changer for me on my business. Oh, thanks, Daz. That's really awesome to hear. Let's see. Yeah, this is great. He said, True Car and current CEO of Autonomy says that starting a company is like staring into the abyss and eating glass. It can be like that sometimes, It can be like that sometimes. In every business, like there's ups and there's downs and there's ups and they're like, just staying the course and saying like, look, this is the path I've chosen. And for me, the benefits of the path far outweigh the inconveniences and the downside and all that stuff. So, awesome. You're welcome, Kim. Awesome. Well, a couple things. We need to do one of my favorite things on a Friday here at the live show, and that is give away some money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
All right, we're going to give away some Cash App money. So here's what I would like everybody to do. If you will put in the chat, hashtag Robo Prospecting. So right now you can go to offlinesharks.com/robo and see our training on how we're using cold email, how we're getting 48% or more open rates. You heard me right. You can get extremely high open rates, but you have to do it in the right way. And on that training for Reach, I talk about exactly how we're doing that, what you have to get those kind of open rates, that type of engagement. We talk about all the stuff, all the follow-up, all the things that need to happen, all the different steps, the offers, all those things. So You'll get insight to all that. Just go to offlinesharks.com/robo. Check it out. Plus, if you take us up on the special offer at the end, our team will actually help you get a reach machine set up and all that good stuff as well. So it's a really great offer. And if you're struggling to be consistent with prospecting, this is a great system to set up and have in place that can help you get consistent with prospecting and do those grinding things that you don't like to do. And you're just dealing with the people that are interested and on the strategy session calls. So put in hashtag robo prospecting. And we are going to do a couple drawings. So first, I'm going to give away $25 in Cash App holiday money. And the first winner goes to Daz. Hey, Daz, congratulations. You are a Cash App winner. So you can put your Cash App tag in the comments, or someone from our team will reach out to you as well. Okay, let's draw again. Let's do another one. Here we go. Our second $25 Cash App winner is Eden. Eden CT. Congratulations. Cash App winner. Again, you can put your Cash App info in the stream, or somebody from our team will reach out to you as well. Now, look, we had an awesome live show today, but next Friday, it is time for the annual Offline Sharks Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session Extravaganza. So next week, join me here live. I will be spreading some holiday cheer. We're going to be, I don't know if you've ever been to one of our holiday extravaganza, that they are awesome. We give away a ton of stuff. We just hang out. We drink eggnog. We have a great time. And that time is next Friday. So make sure, mark your calendar, free up some space, show up here and join me for the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session Christmas Extravaganza. You have to say it that way every time. So it's going to be a great time. In the meantime, go check out offlinesharks.com/robo. A big shout out to Paul for coming on. Paul, it was awesome. Great stuff. Really appreciate everything you shared. Love seeing the comments and all that stuff in the group. Keep it up. And if you guys need anything from us, feel free to reach out to our support. See you in the Facebook group. And there are a couple, I do want to mention a couple things before we go. We do have some changes coming to the way we operate Offline Shark. So number one, we are going to be combining groups. We just have we have a lot of groups, people in all different directions, and we don't feel like that's the best way to keep everybody on the same page and get everybody the information they need. So Cameron right now is in the process of putting a plan and map together to get everybody into one group. We're going to be streamlining some of the coaching calls and things that we do for our various programs as well. So if you're in any of those groups, if you're in any of those coaching programs, keep an eye out for an email or communication from us with updates on what's going on and how we're doing that. We think we're going to come out better on the other side of this with more interaction for people, more value. It'll be easier if you guys to communicate with us and all that stuff. So we got that coming as well. And then the holiday extravaganza and our 12 days of Christmas sale coming up as well. So thanks again for hanging out with me on this Friday. Stay safe, practice aloha, and I'll see you here next week, everybody.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session. We've helped thousands just like you start and scale their businesses. If you'd like our help to grow your business, go to the link on your screen now and let us know how we can help you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.